folks, welcome to another date on Homo Politicus on Enterprise TV. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Of course, you know what we do. We interrogate issues thrown up by contemporary Nigeria, just so you know. Today, court orders Nigerian government to fix prices of petroleum products and other items. Aftermath of human rights intervention. At least twice in our checkered history, specifically under the military regime, government intervened in a bid to rescue a satanic tendency to make life a living hell on earth for the everyday Nigerian. First in 1970 under the Gowon government, and second in 1977 when retired General Obasanjo was country ruler. Government promulgated the Price Control Act, principally to regulate and control the prices of certain goods. Now, the goods and services must be affordable and accessible to the general public. That's what government thought then. But I think it's gratifying, to say the least, that in a supposed peacetime, an individual is seeking to bring succor to Nigerians, since it would appear government is unable to do it. Human rights lawyer, senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, went to court on Wednesday, February 7. His prayer was simply to compel government to fix prices of basic needs of Nigerians. And Justice Ambrose Lewis-Allagoa of the Federal High Court in Lagos ordered the government to fix the prices of some basic goods and petroleum products within 7 days. Would government accede to this request? We'll watch and wait. But let's meet our discussants this morning. In no particular order, let's meet and greet Emeka Madonagu. I greet you, Emeka.
Good morning, sir.
And Innocent Abelugba is also here.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you very much.
Gentlemen, they are both gentlemen of the media and communications consultants. Yeah. So the court has spoken, gentlemen. You expect government to accede to the request, don't you?
Oh, well, if we are in a democracy, that's the expectation. One of the pillars of democracy is rule of law. And
respect for the human right.
Maybe I would say I put them, there are five Catholic elements. You begin with equality, individual liberty, respect for human rights, popular sovereignty, and the rule of law. In this case, I am impressed with Femi Falana. He is the one who filed the case. I think he is an individual carrying the burden of a nation where we should be expecting some civil society groups to bear this. The National Bureau
or by extension, labor, organized labor.
Exactly, exactly. Labor looking to get too fluid these days. I think labor are putting on a political garb, possibly because of the emergence of the Labour Party. And yes.
So the tendency to be to pick sides.
Yes, they are getting partisan, party-wise.
Okay.
And I think this is a befitting sequel to some protests we've seen pockets in Kano, Mina,
Kogi.
In the city. Yeah, so this is accentuating those channels into the judicial corridor properly.
Yeah.
The National Bureau of Statistics have also confessed a 0.72% increase in inflation just between November and December last year. 28.20 in November to 28.92 in December. So, and all of this, it's hydra-headed. We are hungry. There are no food. The food producers are quarantined in IDP camps, separated from their lands. And those who force them to go there armed with AK-47, unlicensed, are walking free. All of these you see are also factors not supported by Nigeria's current macroeconomics.
Yeah.
So it's a good cry, it's a good development.
Innocent, just to add to what you've said, security forces are not helping matters. Even when these goods find their ways to city centers, people have had to pay through their noses to get them. The prices of goods, foodstuff.
Exactly what it is. But it's impressive that in all of this, someone like Emeka is still keeping his shape. He must be eating well. Or you have your own market.
Well, interesting. Before I came here,
Emeka, you look well fed. That's what he said.
I look well fed because I am a realist.
You are a farmer.
Yeah, in fact, you caught me there.
You have access to your farm.
Before I came, well, my farm is in a place. Thank God. Before I came here, my wife and I went to somewhere. We are developing one property, and we harvested cocoyam because my wife told me something interesting yesterday. She said that due to the high cost of yams, that people have started moving to cocoyam. And interestingly, the price of cocoyam has gone up. And I told her, I said, in that our site, we have unharvested cocoyam that are just there. Because the place, since I got it for some years now, people have been farming. No one even said, take one tube of yam. So I got to a point that said,
It was not part of the agreement.
Well, I think no agreement. In fact, I even found a lot. Like now, I said, okay,
You will find yourself.
I now fence my place, put a gate. So since then, some of them stopped greeting me. Maybe in that area, it's okay,
Natural.
no problem. But at least I was able to get some sizable quantity of cocoyam. Then when I looked at the place, I told my wife, I said, wait a minute. One problem we have in Nigeria is that a lot of us who are professionals live in this elite bubble. We believe that, we will always earn money that can afford us, can go to the market and buy anything. And so we complain of different kinds of diseases, of different kinds of sicknesses, that some gardening, some farming can take away. We don't move our joints, we're always sequestered on chairs, we're always living in this elite bubble. And, we think that farming is only for rural folks, uneducated folks. I know of one big man in my area. I just heard some days ago that he retired sometime last year, set up a farm, and he eventually lives on the farm.
Mechanized.
He employed, and eventually lives on the farm. So you find out that we need to be realistic in this country, which is what? We need to be more productive. You see, there's so much.
So all of us have the idea of a country of a collective dream. We want a country that works.
Yeah.
But in those countries, specifically in the United States and in the United Kingdom, a retired man does not see any big deal in returning to the farm.
Of course, it's necessary. In fact, around your environment, apart from keeping your environment clean, sweeping, cleaning, you should also try to, let nature be a part of your space. So you engage in gardening. You didn't know you can even cultivate things like lettuce, some of these things, spring onions, right inside your sitting room. Inside your living room, you can cultivate them. So because these things also add aesthetics to your, beauty to your environment, and then they help you. Then you move your body, you move your joints. Because to be frank with you, things are difficult right now. Things are very difficult. So if there are certain things we can engage in our little spaces to just mitigate the awful situation, better for us.
Yeah. Now let's go to the crux of the matter.
Now, I was about to go there.
Yeah.
You see, unfortunately, our society is one that does not work on data, does not use forecasts.
We couldn't be better.
As far back as 2021, after COVID, the World Bank, World Economic Forum, IMF have been warning that the world will suffer food inflation, especially after the Ukraine, especially around as the Ukraine war got underway, that this thing would affect the world. So that government should start working out measures to internally increase food production so that their people don't have to suffer. But unfortunately, many governments, not only Nigeria, many governments relaxed. And so you find out that I think is it 71% of the governments of the world found themselves, they were caught flat-footed because the Ukraine war, Ukraine has been a supplier of grains and then building materials. You can see how building materials are going up as if they are running a race to somewhere. So now you had the Israel-Gaza, as if that was very enough, you had the Israel conflict, Gaza conflict. They're now spilling into Yemen with Houthi rebels shooting, firing on ships, carrying different items. So all of these things have exacerbated
teasing America.
Yeah, well, but unfortunately, are hitting us. We, the third world, the developing world. So you now find out that food inflation is a major problem globally. Now you would have expected that with all this, our people will be more scientific. That's why I always plead. I say, our policy makers, National Assembly members, even those in the State Assembly, should spend some time, some productive time, even if it's 30 minutes, 1 hour, sit down at a computer or with your phone, go on Google, check certain issues, global issues. The information is there so that when you come to present issues or debate issues on the floor, you present arguments that resonate with reasonable minds.
Yeah.
It's part of what Mr. Femi Falana said. It was just to help to remind government that this Price Control Act was enacted in 1977. Since then, it has not been reviewed. The same thing happened during COVID. The law that gave government the power to enact certain restrictive measures during emergencies, was it not 1904 or something, or 1953? And that law was enacted.
But during the COVID, there were good Joseph methods. Where there were mass storage of food, only for the masses to break in.
I'm not talking of storage of food. What I'm talking about is, I'm talking first of all to the lawmaker, because the constitution, because what goes the legislature first, before the executive and the judiciary. Now, is it that they don't know? You have judiciary committees in the Senate and the House of Reps. Is it that they don't know that the Price Control Act has not been reviewed since 1977?
But does it say the act has been in use since 77?
Yes, it has been in use here and there. Now,
has government been controlling prices of things?
Well, during the military, now and again, government did that by fiat, not relying on the law. Government did that by fiat. But
under the military, as you said,
UK, Europe, US, they have antitrust legislations to prevent monopolistic tendencies so that the people will not suffer. There are times when it looks like maybe inflation is going out of hand. Government will pump in money, pump in goods, pump in different things, incentives to manufacturers to say, bring down your prices.
Yeah.
But here, we just go to sleep.
Yeah, Innocent, let's extend that logic. We had a pep talk before we come on air. Emeka here agreed with me that the astronomical prices of goods and services are not provoked by government, but by satanic elements amongst us. You share this sentiment?
Yes, but it depends on what commodity. If we are coming from the agricultural side, we have media newspaper headlines where bandits, terrorists are saying farmers should pay so amount to them before going to their farm to harvest their crop. That's not government. But how is government curbing this menace? There are inflations we are in now, and because of the kind of iron law monopoly we have, people inflate costs of cement, people inflate costs of sugar within hours, within days. The items listed in Femi Falana's prayer are staple items that Nigeria produces and have stopped producing. Milk. Where can we get milk now? The cattle are roaming. I noticed that globally, Nigeria's cattle are among the thinnest. They roam in the margin and shed their weight where they could have been ranched. Like you just see the picture of one European cattle, it's appetizing.
Yeah.
You know, they are talking about salt. Lots of salt in Benue. This country can be self-sustained, salt or sugar. As a boy, I've worked, as in moving, not working. I don't work into sugarcane plantations and had a lot of scratches.
Yeah.
They are no more there.
My mind goes quickly to the Bachita sugar.
You know, and what I'm telling you, like he said, gathering, for just in a 10 minutes, somebody just farms sugar cane. They are no more there. They are putting, they also listed bicycles, motorcycles, vehicles, and their spare parts. Yes. Those are even secondary. The petroleum products are also the diesel and all of that. But I'm talking about milk. Because infants must thrive on this protein. Even the eggs. I told somebody that fufu has shrunk to the size of onions. Onions have shrunk to the size of pap. Pap has shrunk to the size of egg. We don't know the diameter for shrinking our current eggs. And the prices are like 200% more than what they are.
But that's where I come in. Those prices are not fixed by government.
But I have said, what is government doing? And that's what Omeka tells us that this Price Control Act, through this Femi Falana, when last were they invoked or amended?
Yeah.
Or maybe when last?
Does government even know an act like that is there?
It's a rhetorical question. Let me stop short. Because there are people occupying seats to get their armored. Will tell you in structural functionalism, institutions exist to fulfill functions. So if the government has allocated or appointed people over these offices, what are they doing? Are they being paid? This pay they are being paid for, are they functioning? Or is the structural functionalism theory that they are armored obsolete?
Okay. This is where we apply the brakes. Let's go on a break and come back. But remember, the talking point is simple. Court orders Nigerian government to fix prices of petroleum products and other items. Aftermath of human rights intervention. We'll take this break. Come with us, but return. We'll be back very shortly.
Enterprise TV, your one-stop shop for news, programs, human angle stories, the economy, sports, and much more. We go the extra mile to bring incredible details to you. So hop on the train now. Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.
Okay, folks, let's keep it going. My two discussants are still here, Emeka Madunago and Innocent Adoluba. Court orders Nigerian government to fix prices of petroleum products and other items. We can say this is an aftermath of a human rights intervention. Yeah, gentlemen, so let's go there. Does government, let me ask for the umpteenth time, does government remember that a price control act is in force?
Yes, Nigeria is not
because we did it before.
Yes, Nigeria is not running a fully deregulated petroleum industry. The government removes subsidy doesn't mean government has fully deregulated it. Government deregulated diesel, government deregulated aviation fuel, government deregulated kerosene, but not premium motor spirit. There is still some form of subsidy, some form of price set. Let me use the words of the IMF. Some form of price setting mechanism in place. So, it is such that government is already implementing that in one way or the other. Then even in certain other areas, government is also controlling certain things about pricing and all of that. But basically, part of the blame lies with government. The problem of the dollar, floating the dollar to get its own value, to get it, for the naira to get its real value against the dollar, has thrown the economy into a tailspin. One. Two, last week, within 2 hours, a space of, 4 hours, government increased import duty twice in one day. So that has made importation very difficult. But the question you will ask yourself is this. Venezuela has 9,000% inflation.
Mm-hmm.
Our inflation is 28 point something percent, which is a long distance. So we still have hope, so much hope. But not the Venezuelan government, very serious hope. We are still like they say on the street, we still dey learn work where Venezuela dey, So now, what the government has tried to do in Venezuela is to pump in these goods, so that those who can afford it one way or the other can still get something, can still, get by. Now, what I believe is this. It's not just about price control, price setting. Government should ramp up production.
Because we can do it.
We can. For the interim, government can open the borders. Let rice, some of these items, milk, eggs and all that come in, even if you just 3 months. Push them into the market. So that when there's an avalanche, it will force down the prices of these things. Why do I say so? This is February. Agriculture is largely rain-fed. It's rain-fed. This is February. Farmers are looking forward to, are worrying about by the end of February or March, middle of March, at least it will rain heavily one way or the other. You have the second or third rain of the year, the fourth, the fifth, then they start planting. So now you have rice varieties that you can cultivate twice in a year. Now you can cultivate corn 3 times, maize 3 times a year. Some of these things, there are only varieties you can cultivate the whole year round, all year. So by then, we're talking about maybe
are you talking necessarily about biodiversity?
Yeah, everything put together.
Okay.
So you find out now that people, for instance, some parts of the north, they are harvesting, they have large quantities of tomatoes, onions, and all of that. Those ones are being wasted because of lack of processing. Bribery on the roads, the policemen at so many checkpoints, local government, state government, and all of that. That is a problem of its own. Then banditry and kidnapping is another problem on its own. So what we need to do is to make sure in interim, import, let government, instead of giving people 5,000, 10,000, that won't go anywhere, take that money, turn it into a form of food subsidy. Since you're importing petroleum products, also import food. Because
flood the market.
Don't give it to government, because these governments are wicked, they are selfish. Governments are giving 2 billion each. Share food to people, see what they did. There are reports that lawmakers, federal lawmakers are giving 100 million each to share food to their constituents. Only a few did so. So what you need to do, instead of giving governors or lawmakers, bring these things in and flood the market. When you flood the market, you bring down the price of these things at least for 3 to 6 months. So while we now look at how locally we can balance up.
I see the picture, innocent, but this is as a way of jacking down prices, okay? This is distinct from government moving to fix prices of goods and services.
Taking the line from where he dropped it, demand and supply are what some of our market people lay claim to. except that it's going the mafia way. It's going like a monopoly, morphing into oligopoly, so to speak. If the sector is open for more players, sugar in Nigeria, what comes to the head is Dangote, cement, you know, all what we were listed in. If there are level playing fields for open, fair competition, that without the government can affect or crash prices. That's to some extent. But since we have the Price Control Act, I don't think the government should feel impotent because of democracy. Because on record that it's majorly the military that have affected this. If they are at a loss of how to go about it in a democracy, they can convoke a sitting, a simple. There are people who will talk to them, including yes, we don't have ombudsman here. We don't have even the same Falana who filed the suit could be among the. This is not a fight. This, like he put it, a reminder, a call to duty. So there are people who can. The thing with this cry is that at no time have Nigerians had it this bad, and the government shouldn't just be looking. Because every government emblem is constable. But everybody in government are constable. Okay, let's follow that one. So the method for crashing this, let there be more competition. And for me, my own problem is let people be free to go to their farms.
But gentlemen, let's talk about this for once. We have this knack for not punishing bad behavior. Nobody has been punished for impugning the law. It cannot continue, or should it?
Well, it is difficult in a free market to say that people have gone foul of the law.
But the laws are there.
The laws are not so effective. Our laws are good, but in some areas they are weak. They allow people to get away with things.
But this is why we are here.
That is
impunity.
That is why we should remind the National Assembly to face its job of enacting laws. And their job is not to provide hospitals, dig boreholes and all those things. That's not their job. Their job is to enact laws. If they can look at our laws, where these laws are effective, make them stronger. Then you can come up, the executive and the agencies can now, the MBAs, can I have enough strength to say, yes, we are backed by the law? Why do I say so, for instance? We don't have an effective antitrust legislation in Nigeria. So anybody can come in any industry, fix arbitrary prices. And there is no effective legislation with which you can punish such a person. And so what do you do? What do you find? People devise different ways of
circumventing the law.
For instance, let us quickly jump into this oil theft. Now, because the Navy has been impounding ships, they've even blown up some ships. What do? The number of illegal refineries in the country, in the Niger Delta, has increased. Those they call coal-fire because they see that it's not easy to move our oil out. So when they sell it to these providers, they cook the oil. When they cook the oil, they can now sell it here and there. So what do? We have to make sure that we use technology to deal with some of these issues. First of all, we have to use data. Let's use data very effectively. What are you get a list of the manufacturers we have in Nigeria producing different things. Now, those who are producing noodles, for instance, we know noodles have become a staple in many families. How could noodles have gone from 1,500 to 8,500? What is justification?
This is where I have problem. You and I broke this subject during our pep talk. The inflation is in the land is not propelled by government, but by satanic elements.
Yes, people are actually taking advantage of it.
And you don't think we should punish people?
No, you can, in a sense, that's what I said. In a sense, you would also totally blame them because our economy is largely import dependent. So a lot of their inputs come from abroad. For years, we were talking of local substitutes, developing local substitutes. There is no component in manufacturing today that cannot be sourced locally. But what do you see? Poultry feed that we should produce locally. What has happened? Because of shortage of maize, cassava farmers prefer to export the cassava. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of Chinese factories set up. What they do is
to counter these things.
Around the time when harvesting of cassava is booming, they go into the farms and just buy wholesale, whole harvest. They buy whole harvest and sell to the farmers. So why won't there be a shortage of food? Look at maize. At the point, we said that Nigeria's capacity to produce maize had gone down drastically. So what do we need to do? Under I think Jonathan and under Buhari, we now make do with imports. But it still wasn't enough to meet demand because we need maize for a variety of products. So what you have to do is this. Buhari wasn't matters like shutting the borders. It wasn't matters. What you need to do is that for the meantime, we may need to, for 3 months, 6 months or so,
you don't think that's debatable? Because
what is debatable?
Shutting borders.
No,
because I remember Lake Rice came, the collaboration between Lagos and Kebbi. It came during the
national
typical Nigerian condition.
Let us look at the root. One problem is our agriculture is still largely at subsistence level. Agriculture is not largely mechanized. So what you find out, I talked about IDPs. These people are subsistence farmers. We need security on the farms. We need mechanized farming. We have just about 50,000 tractors in Nigeria. How many are serviceable? Our production, sum total in agriculture cannot meet our demand. It's still way below. So our problem largely is a supply problem.
All right, Abuba, it means we are in trouble.
And with the longer we get out, the better. As we speak, people are still birthing infants. House rents are still rising. School fees is still ongoing. Life continues. The income of the people buying these products are where they are, but the prices have more than trickled.
Okay, we must go, but then let me make this point clear. On this show, what we do is help mold opinion and allow decision makers to take advantage. That's the essence of Homo Politicus on Enterprise TV. Let's thank Emeka Madunadu for coming.
Thank you very much.
Innocent Abuluba, thank you for your time too.
My pleasure.
Our job is done, and so on behalf of the Backroom Boys, this is yours sincerely, Citizen Jones Hussein saying thank you. We hope government listens to the court. Bye-bye now.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.